Hello everybody, the history guy here. The inner child in me is really excited about this one. I'll be 40 years old this year, and so I grew up on the video games of the 1980s. Of course, Atari, Nintendo, but my first experience with computer gaming was my Commodore 64. And some of you who are my age or maybe a little older may remember that. And it had a separate floppy disk drive with a 5 1/4 inch disc. And one of the greatest games that I can remember really just loving to play was Red Storm Rising. And Cold Waters is very much the spiritual successor to Red Storm Rising. It's basically the exact same game, but with more modern graphics and gameplay. But it's set in the same time period, the 1980s, during the Cold War, in a fictionalized version of the Cold War where it becomes a hot war. And this is just like that game. And I remember just as a kid being so into that. So I've been excited. I've seen a couple of other folks playing this game, and I thought I'd give it a try. I've played through a couple of the training missions, just enough to get my feet wet and dive in so I could let everybody see, just do kind of a first look video. So please don't look at this as me saying, hey, I'm really good at this game, watch how I play it. No, I'm really just doing this because I loved Red Storm Rising. One of my favorite films is Hunt for Red October, and this is all very much in the same vein as that. And so I thought I'd let everybody get a look at this great new game called Cold Waters. I'm going to play a single mission, and then once I get a little more familiar with the game to the point where I feel like I can actually play it in a decent way, I'll do a little more. But the single mission I'm going to do is just a duel. And basically it's just me versus another submarine. And I think I can handle that. Much more than that, I'm not very skilled just yet. So I know there's a lot to learn about this game as far as movement and detecting and sound. And, you know, there's just so much to deal with when you are in charge of a submarine as far as not being detected, but detecting the enemy and taking him out before he takes you out. And I can imagine it just would be really, really intense as a sub-captain to be in charge of that. But so I'm in charge of a Narwhal-class nuclear attack submarine, which those date back to the 60s. So this was, by this point, probably 15 years old. But they formed, it says, the backbone of the U.S. Navy at this time. So this was kind of the standard attack submarine that a U.S. Navy commander would have had. And so we're east of Iceland in the Norwegian Sea. It is 15 December 1984. I was 7 years old at the time. It's noon, and we are at 383 feet depth. We're heading at 185, basically due south. We're going 5 knots. There's a storm with high wind up at the surface and no thermal layer, which basically, if I understand that correctly, the thermal layer is basically if you get up above that or below that and your enemy is on the other side, it's harder for him to detect you. So it's kind of a barrier that helps you. So we're going to stay at 25,000 yards, and we're going to hit all hands man battle station, which gets us into the fight. And so there I am. And we're going to look right here and see where our contact is. Sonar, new contact bearing 231, designated Sierra 1. I don't see him. But 231, I mean, basically, let's see, 90, 180, 270. So he's down this way somewhere. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn in that direction. I'm only going 5 knots. I might go ahead and speed that up to 10. That might be a mistake. I don't know if I'm going to start cavitating. Cavitating just basically means you're making a lot of noise and it's really easy for you to be detected. But I got to figure out where in the world this contact is because I'm not seeing him at the moment. But that's me. And of course, you can kind of zoom out. You can look at the surface. It's very stormy today, as you can see. Let's go ahead back down below here. I'm still learning the game, like I said. No contact at the moment. So we're going to switch to active sonar, which of course makes noise and makes it easier for him to detect me, but I need to figure out where this guy is. So we'll let that active sonar run for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the time. Hopefully we'll figure out where this guy is. Oh, jeez. I think there's a... Is that a torpedo? Did I just fire one? I don't know. No, that's a torpedo that's coming at me. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and turn away from that bad boy. Turn off the active sonar. So I'm actually turning right into him here. And I think he's going to pass me. So we're good. In the meantime, where in the heck is the enemy? I don't see him anywhere. Oh, his torpedo just went active. Okay. We're going to launch a noisemaker. Dang, this thing's got me. And I'm toast. Oh, it missed me. Look at that. Oh, jeez. I better turn. It's circling back around. So he was coming from this way. No, 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 no. He's got me. He's got me. And I'm toast. He's going to hit me right in the rudder, too. Boom. Propulsion damage. Time to repair 5 minutes. So I'm actually going to survive this? Alright. Wow, that was quick. I never even saw the contact, and he instantly just hit me. Alright, my turn, dude. You know what? I think I'm going to make this bad boy active right away. Because he's right in front of me. Or I thought he was. Go active. Find him. Where'd he go? I'm trying to remember how to recenter my map here. There we go. Alright. This might not be good because now that torpedo's active and it could very well come back around on me. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Maybe that'll help me detect where this guy is. Oh, look, it's raining on the surface. There we go. We got contact reestablished. Oh, man, that torpedo just barely missed him. He's only 3,000 yards away. Why do I keep missing him? Oh, there he is. He's out there. Now, as long as I don't move too much, I should be able to keep... you can have a wire, basically, as you see right here down the bottom right, which basically allows me to steer the torpedo for a while. Whoa, is that... Oh, he put a noisemaker in the way. So my weapon just broke because I'm not going in the same direction, I guess, is probably why. So some of you may be much more familiar with this game than I am, so if you see me doing really stupid things or there's things I'm missing, let me know. I guess... Whoa, what happened there? What is that? Did I hit him? I hit him. Well, holy cow. He was right up on the surface. That's a really crappy looking submarine right there. So I hit him. Alright, cool. I guess it's probably a good time to stop diving. Oh, that's because I got hit too. That's why I'm diving. Maybe if we move faster. Now that he's sunk, that'll keep me from diving so fast while we get some repairs done. Because I think he's toast. Is he toast? Please tell me he's going down. Alright, I'm coming back up to the surface, so that's good. I got my speed going a little bit, and I got my dive planes maxed out, so I can get back up to the surface. I could always do a emergency blow if I had to. But I want to see that this guy's going to hit the bottom. Yes, I'm rather enjoying and a little bit creeped out by the crushing sounds that are happening, the creaking of the metal in the water. There's a part of me that has just a little bit of claustrophobia, and this kind of freaks me out just a tad, the thought of being on a submarine that's sinking. Yeah, he's going down. Let's see him hit the bottom. Yeah, I'm enjoying this just a little bit. What I'll do is after I finish enjoying watching him hit the bottom, I'm going to go into one of the training missions just to kind of let you see how firing missiles is a little different. It's a lot of fun to do that. You can fire those at surface ships, obviously. All right, he's about to hit the bottom because we can see his shadow there. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, it kind of sucks for you guys, but I'm sorry. We're cavitating. Okay, well, that's fine. We're about to hit the surface, so that makes sense. Alright, so I think he's toast. We have some flooding, but we're at the surface, so we're good. So I sank him. We're good. Alright, so let's go back for a second. Just because I'm trying to give you just a little bit of a glimpse of what this game looks like. I'm going to go to one of the training missions, and I'm going to do the missile training for a second, just so you can see what it's like to fire a missile on a surface ship. It's a lot of fun. So the training on this game is excellent. It really gives you a great kind of feel for how the game works, and the mechanics, even though the gameplay itself is pretty complicated just because there's so much you have to keep track of, the mechanics of the game as far as controlling things actually are not too bad. So here's our surface contacts, and we're going to go ahead and fire on one of these bad boys here as soon as I've got the missile loaded. I'm going to load a missile in this one too. I think these are harpoon missiles. Okay. So we basically, with missiles, with torpedoes, you want to kind of fire ahead of where they're going so that you can fire toward where they'll be. Missiles go so fast, you want to basically put them right at the spot so they'll home in on it. And let's fire. Here we go. This is going to happen pretty fast, and you won't see the ship until your missile hits it. At least that's what I've noticed is the case. It's 10,000 kiloyards away. Alright, where is this bad boy? Here it comes. Alright, I think we hit it. Yep. So you didn't even, since we couldn't see the ship, we didn't actually see it hit anything. There it is. Alright. So we have sunk this nice little freighter that wasn't really hurting anybody. So I'm at periscope depth. I'm going to raise my periscope just so you can see what that's like. It's kind of fun. Go back to my ship. I forget how to view the periscope. Let's take a look at that real quick here. The controls are all right here. So periscope views P, easy enough to remember. Alright, so there we go. Now we get a nice little glimpse. And I have the mouse inverted, I gotta fix that. But you get a nice little glimpse of what we just fired on. And just because it's fun, let's go ahead and fire a torpedo at that spot too. We'll speed up time. Oh, he's gonna miss because the ship's sinking. Oh well. But there you have it. That's what it looks like to fire a missile, so that's kind of fun too. And one last thing I'll take a look at real quick here just to give you a little sense of it is that there's a campaign. And right now we've got 2 different campaigns available to us. The North Atlantic 1984, which is basically between the Warsaw Pact, which was the Soviet Union's equivalent to NATO, with all the Eastern and Central European powers involved there. And then we have this one, 1968. Overnight, the Soviet Union invades Czechoslovakia with 250,000 troops and 2,000 tanks to crush the reformist government there. Seeing the complete lack of response by an America down by fighting Soviet-backed forces in Vietnam, an emboldened Brezhnev regime decides the time is ripe to increase its sphere of communist influence in Europe. Their target, West Germany. For those of you not familiar, Germany in our younger days was 2 separate countries in the aftermath of World War II. The Soviet section, the part they controlled, became East Germany. That was the northeast part of the country. The French, British, and American zones became what was known as West Germany. They were a democratic government. So, just choosing one of these, of course, you can say hit start, got your commander name, etc., etc., and then you dive in, and you start out with Los Angeles class nuclear attack submarine, which is a little newer. Those started in 1976, so you can accept that, and then basically they start giving you missions. So I'll hit accept and just kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse into that. Hey, it's Ronald Reagan. What will Reaganism mean for U.S. foreign relations? New President-elect Ronald Reagan has begun his term in office with establishing a harsh tone against the Soviet Union. The former California governor, once a Democrat, is reputed for his anti-communist stance and active partaking in sorting out socialist friendlies in Hollywood in the 1950s. So we dive into that, and there's kind of a storyline that you follow with all of this, and I won't get into all that now. I'll do that when I actually play through a campaign. And so you're basically getting a glimpse into what causes the breakdown in relations between the East and the West. And this all then leads to an all-out war, which we become part of. So here's your first missions then. They give you a mission. Locate and sink the enemy submarines transporting the Spetsnaz commandos. Secondary objective, locate and sink any escorting submarines if possible. So then you go out and you're basically, at this point, you're kind of out and patrolling. And you just, here's the map. You kind of see what's happening in the world. Blue's the good guys, red's the bad guys, so to speak. You see planes flying. You'll see a satellite go overhead every so often. And then you get into the actual fight. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of what Cold Waters is like. Obviously, there's much, much more to the game. But I at least wanted to get this out there and expose folks to the game because maybe you haven't heard about it. And maybe you're like me and you grew up playing Red Storm Rising and loved that game and have been longing for something like it to come back. Well, here you have it. So I've got a lot of work to do to be able to learn how to be good at this game before I'm going to start doing a campaign and a playthrough. But at some point I will do that. But for now, you've got a first look. If you've got any specific questions about the game, I'll try to answer those for you if I can. And if not, I'll go back to finishing up some of my other series, and I will be back very soon to play in a campaign on this once I feel like I've got a little bit of a handle on it. So thanks for watching. Like I said, please use the comment section if you have questions, observations. If maybe you're already playing the game and there's some things you can let me know as far as what I need to know about getting good at this game. And as always, I thank you so much for all of the support that I've had on my channel. I appreciate it greatly, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.